Y'all. Sorry, started a little late. We are here and ready to discuss all that was announced at AES this year. First off, my name's Czar. Everybody go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm going to introduce myself first. My name is Johnny Reckley. I'm a studio instructor. I'm glad to be a part of this. This is the second time that I'm actually on it, so I look forward to discussing some interesting topics today.
Well, I'm KJ from K Sound Inc., a music composer. As I stated in the first week, I recently graduated from Full Sail University, my Bachelor's of Science in Music Production. And again, I am excited to be here to discuss the products today.
All right, and my name is Johnny, formerly known as My Mix Engineer, owner and co-owner of MyMixEngineer.com, and I am a mixing engineer, as my name states, and I'm also a producer. And this is my first time, since everyone is stating that this is their second time.
Let's get right into this. So the first thing I got on the list here is the Dangerous Music Compressor, which was unveiled at AES. My Sweetwater rep emailed me, told me Dangerous had something special to announce the next day, and I figured it was a compressor because I was kind of feeling like, what else could they really do? They've covered, they got the EQ, they got summing, they got monitor control. So what do y'all think the Dangerous Music Compressor?
Well, what I thought was interesting was the fact that, well, it's a clean compressor, is what they were saying, and it has the dual channel compressors left and right. You know, most compressors is, mono straight down the middle, but this one you can actually compress. It has two different settings for both sides, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, them doing a compressor, I knew it was going to be loaded with features. Actually, I emailed Bob a couple of years ago, asking them about a compressor, and what he basically told me was that they're not going to do a compressor just for the sake of making a compressor. If they make something, it's going to be different than anything else on the market. And with the features that it has, it definitely is different. It looks badass. I love the look of it. The metering on it, not a huge fan of that type of metering. I prefer LED metering. When it comes down to it, it's going to probably sell very well, as all Dangerous stuff does. The price tag at $2,800 is more than I was hoping for. I was hoping maybe $2,500. But I knew, if they made a compressor, it wouldn't be. I knew it'd be at least $2,000 and up.
Yeah.
I think, like KJ was also talking about, I was actually taking notes on it. And I was also noticing that, like when he said that it's going to be able to be a compressor on both sides, I was like how you have the attack. I remember they said that you can choose whether you want them to be together or actually be separate, so that you can adjust the attack and release. I thought that was real dope. Me specifically, and I mean it was geared to do so many different things. The sidechain monitoring, which a lot of them can do. Right. But the way they had that, just by pushing a button right on it, I really did like that.
Yeah, the side chain, I have to have that in my compressors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a dual mono unit, so you can use it as dual mono. But the side chain, that's one thing I look for in any compressor, especially stereo compressor, and especially a bus compressor. I have to have that side chain.
Matter of fact, I looked on the page and also seen they was talking about the smart dynamics that they have in it. I wish I could find a little bit more videos on it, but this one piece right here, I want to dig deeper into.
The smart dynamics, from what I understand, is it will it compresses the instead of compressing the RMS, it compresses the peak and the RMS. So it's kind of like a hard limiter, I would say,
Okay.
on the end of it, just hitting the peaks while you're still compressing whatever you have the compressor set to compress. Any peaks that jumps through, the Smart Dynamics will handle that as well.
Yeah, because I seen it said it's gonna on the Smart Dynamics, it said the limiter will have a quick attack and a quick release.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually interesting, but I mean, most of Dangerous products they try to do something a little bit different with all their products. Even actually their equalizer, I was looking at that for a while too, but I guess that's where they get their name from.
Oh yeah. You got any thoughts on it, Barbara?
Yeah, I've kind of like with stereo bus compressors. I actually liked it. Like you said, that you like the LED more metering. Yeah, I like this and the V. There's one too much time. I think that
The VU metering.
yeah, the VUE. I mean, yeah, I like those instead of light because if you sit there, yeah, even though the light's dancing, that's actually nice. But the point is, with Dangerous, they have done an excellent job with basically out of the box, everything out of the box, compression with this one, especially with their summon. So when they came out with this, it was just like it's like how you have to go get it.
That's probably why they've been waiting to make one for so long.
I mean, I guess that's better than them just dropping it straight out after they, too early, maybe too late.
And I will say, like, if like, one of the reasons I was really dying for them, or someone else even, I'll say, for a premium bus compressor. If you look at premium bus compression now, you've got basically 3 units that everyone is using and has been using for the past decade plus. The API 2500, the SSL bus compressor, and Manley Varimu. That's what everyone has been using, and it's I don't like when I get my gear, I like to be a little different. I like to get stuff that everyone doesn't have. But those 3 compressors have been they've just been what everyone has been using. So I've been dying for something new to come out, especially on the premium bus compressor front.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you think this will actually be able to compete with others once they get out for about 6 months?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Because I think a lot of people in pro audio is looking for something new as far as bus compression. So I definitely think that it'll be a hit because we always try to sound different than everyone else.
Right.
And even though we could all use the same gear and still sound different, but just having completely different gear than someone else just helps go further to get your own sound.
Right.
I agree.
So look, the next thing we got on here is the Slate Virtual Mix Rack. D. Lyles had hit me up and told me the Slate was dropping something at AES, and I was kind of surprised with because the virtual bus compressors just released not too long ago. So I was surprised that they had a new product out this quickly. But I think it's going to be another hit for Slate. I think it's a Neve SSL on the EQ. And he says it's going to make more modules to go in it. Just what's going to kill me about this is that people, I already know that people are going to say, oh, I don't need a 500 series anymore. I can just get the Slate Virtual Mix Rack.
Yeah.
Difference.
It's totally different.
I thought it was pretty cool. The way you can, the way it's set up, move stuff around. Yeah. And then you can, he said that you can expand to 8 more slots. So as more come out, you can add more and more to it. And the key word to me was, he said they would run 0 latency, because that's a big thing with CPU. So 0 latency, and you could put about 8 modules in there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know people say that it's I mean it's not the same thing, but people now with the virtual console, I don't need analog summing, I just need this plug-in,
Plug-in,
and
yeah.
that's not analog. Plug-in does not do analog summing. We'll save that for another discussion.
Yeah, like one thing I found neat with it is like KJ was saying is that you can actually switch it around inside of the module.
Of one plug-in.
Of one plug-in. So like I recently purchased the Mac DSP with a 6030. You not just you have to actually put it on the instant to switch it around instead of being in that one plug-in and doing basically like a channel strip type deal inside that one plugin, which is a great idea. But I guess I'll probably be the only person to say like I have been fighting like Slate stuff lately. After that virtual bus compressor, I kind of didn't like his virtual bus compressor. So
well, we're gonna have to talk more about that later. You're the only person I've heard that said they didn't like it. I haven't used it yet. Because it requires an iLok 2, and I don't have an iLok 2 yet. But I definitely want to check it out because I am looking for. I'm looking to either purchase a new hardware bus compressor or a nice plug-in bus compressor.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that got me the most, you touched on in the very beginning, was how he planned on updating it to use other things like limiters, he said exciters, etc. I'm actually wondering, is he going to expand it also being able to use more than 8 at one time in a rack? But I mean, the idea, I think it's going to be a big money maker for Slate, because I mean he just came out with his 2 control surfaces, the Raven and what is the MTXI, I believe. Mm-hmm. He just dropped those earlier, and now he got these plugins, and he also talked about updating also the VCC rack module for the people that purchase this. So he's got more in store. This is just a starting point for what he's trying to do before the change of the year. At least I believe. Because
so I'm thinking about
it this time.
A little off subject, y'all. Do you think Slate is focusing more on Slate digital right now or Slate audio?
Digital. Digital. Because you gotta think the Slate audio has been out. It's been out at least for a few years and then tweaking it. But now he's been coming out with a lot of digital.
And I haven't heard the I know on the Slate audio side they got the Fox, they got the Dragon. I have seen the Dragon in more than one studio here in Nashville. I haven't seen or heard of anyone else using it besides that, but one, I think it was Blackbird, they've got the Dragon in multiple rooms in there, and I kind of saw it in there, and I was like, oh really? So someone is using this, and from what they're telling me, people who booked the room in that room, they love them.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen that price.
Yeah.
I have seen that price. But, I mean, it's marked up there for a reason.
It's basically an 1176 on steroids. So, I mean, 1176 is going to cost you $2,000 anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's been doing his research. He's definitely been doing his research. I mean, he wouldn't have came up with his console idea if he wasn't doing some research.
Oh yeah.
I mean that console, I don't know. I think it's not going to do too well.
With the Raven
MCI.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do too well because the diehard engineers like to touch actual pieces, not a screen. It's nothing. You lose the feel of a fader. You might as well just use your regular computer. You might as well just use the mouse.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm not too crazy about, and I haven't tried it, but I just can't see where I would want to use a touchscreen. I just feel like I can't get as precise as I would want with a touch screen.
Right.
I mean, D. Lyles was telling me that he can. He's like, oh, I can mix on my iPad now, and I'm like, cool, but why would you want to do that?
Right.
Now, I will say there are certain instances like the Pre-Sony Studio Live comes to mind where they've got the iPad app where you can adjust things on the fly from the iPad. As a front of house mixer, that makes total sense to me. That's
on the fly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is something I would be interested in if I was a front of house engineer. But as far as just mixing in the studio, doing it on an iPad or a touch screen, I just don't see it as an enjoyable experience.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even like using a trackpad. Them
Trackpad ain't that bad.
It's sitting right over there.
I'll talk to you after about that.
What you trying to get? Okay.
We'll take a look. Anybody got anything else to say about Slate?
One other thing is, I will, it's just don't get it wrong when I said that their product and like his other products, his VCC, his tape emulator, I really like those. I actually have those. It was just that the buzz compressor, it just with Waves having the SSL, and only thing that was hot inside of that was the red compressor. And all I can say is like I will and honestly give this the virtual bus rack a try because the idea was very innovative. The way that he made it. I thought about it. Nobody else has a plug-in like that I can think of right now.
The what's that company? T-Rex is kind of like that though.
Yeah, who used to
But their stuff is kind of swap in and out using different plugins inside a plugin though.
Yeah. With that, and unless you're using like Waves rack, but or the Noman has the Magnum, which has the same thing. Don't think about it. So, but it's not a 500 series, so.
Yeah. Let's move on. I got next on the list is the API, the box console that they announced, which is a 16-channel summing console with 4 inputs, 4 mic pre-inputs. Guess they're probably 312 or 512s. It's got 2 550As for 2 of those channels. It's got 2 open 500 series slots that you can put whatever you want in there, and then it's got 2 527 compressors. I was shocked to see that. As API told me they're coming out with some new products, but I didn't know they're going to come out with a whole new console. Yeah. It's priced at $18,000, and it's got as well. It's got send and returns on it as well. Any thoughts on that product?
Design.
Yeah.
Design.
They named it right. They gave it the right name. It's like a big old box.
This is one thing. The company is known for their products, high quality products. But it's 2013. I know. I mean, let's compare that to a console not even in their league. Looking like Studio Live compared to that. I mean, I think they got a better designer of how they constructed it to what it looked like. But this really looks like something that was during Abbey Roads.
Right.
That's at least, but the sound, I mean, I'm trusting the name. But the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Price is up there.
For $18,000.
I mean, for what it has, I think you can build
the same thing.
You can build components with API cheaper than that. But
speaking on that, I will say if they did just the 16-channel summing, and did away with the mic with the mic pre's and the 4 inputs, I don't need that. Do away with the extra send and returns. If they did just a 16-channel summing box, or you could even be a little different. Do the 16-channel summing box with the compressors on the end.
okay.
That I would be totally interested in. As far as my studio, I just mix, so I don't need the inputs. I don't need the pre's. If I track anything, I go to recording studio. If they come out with just the summing, that'd be something I would really be interested in.
You know what? And I can understand that.
And they marketing the way that they said it, that they gearing it for the home studio and the project studios. I mean, now you purchase this. Now you got to actually go back and rebuild you another desk because it's not.
Yeah.
How can I say? It's not designed well for like the normal place. The design on it is horrible. I mean, just be honest. I love API, but they gave this actual console the exact right name, a box, because it looks like it should have been called a trunk. Because that would have looked like a foot trunk, and it's too big and it's too bulky. Like I said, it's 2013. Where's the sleek and sexy and very appealing.
Yeah.
The only thing that'll appeal is like an old. I am not gonna say an old head, but like an old school. Like if I wanted to if I was I like to tape. I still record on tape all the time and type person. I want a bunch of analog gear. Yeah, I can actually see that in my studio, but me purchasing that for 18, like Johnny said, I buy a lunchbox if it's and fill it up with API 500 series for $1,800.
What do you think about the four inputs to me? Because that's kind of
it's lacking.
Yeah, it is. I would have seen it to make more sense to go with maybe 8 pre's. Because at least with 8 pre's you can track drums. But 4 pre's is I don't know. I guess give me 2 pre's or give me 8. But 4 is just kind of an odd number to me.
For 18, I want 24 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I understand you. I just don't get the idea of this. I really don't see how they geared this around home studios. Because if they do, well, most project studios or home studios, most of them already got a desk. When you bring that piece in,
where is it gonna go?
Yeah. You got, like you said, you got to rebuild your desk. Cover that screen.
You purchase a desk for $400 or $200 from Sweetwater or Musician and Friends or Guitar Center, and you say, "Oh, I want the API," and where can I put it? It's not gonna sit nowhere. I'm gonna have to take the top of this off and sit it on top of the box.
Now you gotta get one of those cafeteria tables.
Right.
Do you think that this competes with the Matrix?
No way.
Nope. Absolutely not.
I mean, probably with sound and technology, with sound, not technology. But
not technology.
Because you want to say that it competes with the Matrix because of the price range, but they are two totally different units. Because this has processing in it. You got EQ, you got 2 EQs, you got 2 compressors. Where the Matrix, you'd have to add your own. But I will say that if you're spending $18,000 for a console, you probably already got you probably already have some external gear that you're using anyway.
Right, a lot of it.
Yeah,
Right.
if you could drop that on the console, yeah.
Or you can drop it on a nice rack.
Hmm. But I'm hoping that they slim it down to just a summing, because I'd really be interested in that.
Hopefully.
Now, speaking of the Matrix, we can segue to that. SSL updated the Matrix. They added the hardware. It was a hardware insert. I guess from what I'm understanding, it's a one-touch button on the Matrix now that'll pull up the hardware insert.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. I would, if I own one, I'd use that all the time because I'm constantly pulling up my hardware insert plugins in Studio One, as well as some other enhancements with it, as well as the software. Barbara, you told us that you own an SSL Matrix, the first version. What do you think of this new updated version that they've announced?
For us people who have the first one, I would stick with the first one for the time being because we already know the workaround of it. So it would have been nice if they would have made it like a update, or maybe like another card that I could have put inside of it or something like that to do this feature. But other than that, I want to see me personally purchasing it. I mean, but like somebody who's looking for one, they're looking to go to like the SSL console in a small space, I would go for it, definitely.
You know the software enhancements that they announced is going to be updatable on the original Matrix.
Oh, okay. I'm not going nowhere.
You're gonna be checking that real soon.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, with that being, well then why would you buy the second one?
Well, I mean, it's. I'm pretty sure they're going to discontinue the first one. I think the second one is just. It's been out 5 years, and they're just updating it, and they just probably. I don't know physically if anything is different, maybe a little bit here and there, but from what I'm understanding, they just took user feedback from the first one, and
right.
they just made an improved one.
But if they discontinue, then people who do upgrade, or a studio that's getting rid of one, well, the normal person will probably jump on that one, try to find discontinue,
Definitely.
and just update it instead of buying a new one.
I guess it depends on, or comes down to, if you're really serious about getting a Matrix. Look at the Matrix 1, look at the Matrix 2, see what because the things that they added might not be things that you care about. They took user feedback, which is great, but if you're one of those users and the new enhancements, you weren't complaining about those or wished for them anyway, then yeah, definitely Matrix 1 would do you just fine.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, this was something I was interested in looking further into when I was doing a little research. Definitely fit what I'm trying to do. It's nice and small, if as opposed to the IPI box. This is a little bit slimmer and sexier, and to me it does more, and I was looking at one feature that I thought that should have been included in anything like this. It said that they added the fader linking, which gives you the ability to control groups. I thought that was something that should have been included, but I guess.
That I don't understand, because it is a DAW controller at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you group faders in a DAW, why would it not group the faders on the Matrix?
It does it on mine.
It does?
Yeah, when I link them in Pro Tools, say for instance, like if I group them in Pro Tools and I group all the faders, it actually translates on my board.
That's one up for the one.
Huh?
That's one up for the first Matrix.
Right. I mean, or do it like the old, like not old, but the ones who actually sit on the board. Rubber band is the group.
I'm gonna have to add next time I see one of the SSL reps. I'm gonna have to ask them about that, or maybe there'll be a video that'll pop up on YouTube soon explaining explaining all the new features.
Oh yeah, SSL, they do a very good job updating the videos on all their equipment. Because I was actually in a tug between another one of their consoles and a smaller console that both have one has more mic pre's, but I was also looking at the SSL nucleus. Actually, I was talking to KJ about it, and I didn't see if the Matrix 2 has it, but I know the nucleus was lacking in a master fader. I need to go back and check to see if the Matrix 2 actually has still has a master fader, which I believe it does.
Now you mean a physical fader, or you mean just a master volume?
No, a physical fader for it.
Okay, okay.
I mean, but nowadays you probably wouldn't want it. I mean, because you actually put it inside of your dock,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just bank down to it, and you have control of it.
That's the idea I thought they was actually doing with that, to just make sure nobody touches the master fader. At least that's what I was guessing that they was thinking about when they designed that product.
Yeah, I wish I could remove the master fader in Studio One, because I don't use it with analog summing. I don't need a master fader.
Right.
And it just kind of bugs me that it's kind of hanging out there in my mixer the whole time, and it's like, I don't need you. Can you go away?
Yeah.
You wanna hide it.
Yeah.
I can't even do that.
I don't use a master fader either, unless I'm, putting the last touches, plugins on it. But as far as like the ability to move the volume up and down, I don't. But I know some people who do. But you shouldn't. Nobody should be touching the master fader. It's supposed to stay right there. But
yeah, Pro Tools. When I was using Pro Tools, I never used a master fader.
I tell you,
if it was one in the session, the first thing I do is I get rid of it.
There's no need for it.
So I guess I know how everybody feels on this, but API box or the Matrix 2?
Matrix 2.
Matrix 2.
yeah, I'll go for the Matrix 2. No, I was gonna say API box, but
You couldn't build up enough to say that.
You said box, you had to put you in timeout, bro.
That would have been like Looney Tunes or Anvil would have fell on you.
yeah, I think I go for the API box. I like the idea of rebuilding my studio, make it look older. You know what I mean? Yeah, that attract more people.
Well,
I think I would. I would go with the Matrix mainly for the DAW control, being able to control being able to have DAW control would be the huge deciding factor to me. I already have outboard gear, though I would love a couple 527s and 550As. Yeah, the DAW control and being able to automate would be huge for me.
Yeah, that's my main reason of looking into that, because as I said before, I come from, like, when I first started in music, I started with the 48 channel board and all the modules on the racks and all the outboard gear, and when I got into the digital era, everything on computer, I guess I thought I didn't have a need for all that stuff because I was using the mouse, but as I'm doing this stuff quite more frequently, I still want to be able to enjoy moving the knobs and faders, and so when I saw the Matrix, I was like, man, okay, I like this, the ability to actually control everything, because I'm a Logic Pro user, everything in Logic Pro, and still get that, that analog outboard gear effect, that feel. Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah, love it.
Since you said that, do you think that API's box is trying to bring the analog back, just by the look of it?
Yeah, I think that they're. I think they are. I think they're also trying to. How'd I put it? Bring a console to a lower market, if you want to call $18,000 a lower market. But the 1608 is, I think the 1608 is 60,000.
Yeah.
I think, or 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's definitely people out there that the box will appeal to. If you don't care about the DAW control, if you just need a couple channels for recording, I think there is people that it will appeal to. We've seen some analog consoles released the last couple years, and in an era where you say that nobody's buying consoles anymore. And I think that it's not that no one's buying console. Well, no one is really buying consoles anymore. But like you said, the design factor of it also has a lot to do with it, because so much is going on in the home right now that design really plays a huge part in that. But I think their main thought process behind it, in my opinion, is just bringing an API console to a lower market.
Right. And I feel like with that, with them doing it, it's their first time,
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say is it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Quite sure. Once they get their feedback from this product, and that's like if it's what 4 people here are now saying like, well, no, the design is not up to T. If they just do a summing, they gonna listen to us, and they gonna obviously they gonna listen to us once the sales hit. So either they gonna try again or they just gonna leave it at that. Which I really doubt the API just gonna hang it up. I'm quite sure they're gonna come out with another. It's gonna be the box 2, but it's gonna be a smaller box, and it's gonna be sleek.
I think so too, because I think some people like me that are looking at this is like, what if I don't need the mic pre's? What if I don't need this? What if I don't need that? Can I get this in a little smaller package?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then of course with nowadays everybody, if I got some faders, I wanted to at least coexist inside my DAW.
Right.
If I move it down here, I at least wanted to move it there. So,
especially around that price range.
Yeah, especially around that price range, it's a lot of other boards that you can get into. You can actually purchase MIDI board control services and actually buy, like I said, buy a lunchbox, and you got the APIs on it for $1,800.
Yeah, that's true.
You can control probably for $1,800. You can actually get something that controls at least 24 faders, and that's pretty big. You for $1,800 and buy an Avalon or a Tube Tech and probably have some change left over.
That's true. Like I said, the DAW control is huge for me. If API were to do that, that would require them going digital.
But they don't have to sacrifice too much to go digital. I mean, only thing that the digital realm of it is going to be the faders. If they just have the faders and the capability to use the faders as the control of your DAW, your DAW, and still have the components of the EQ, the compression, and the 4 pre's, which is kind of awkward for it only have 4 pre's. I mean, that's pretty small.
Only 4.5 thousand, per pre.
It must be. I mean, but that's crazy. I mean,
yeah, it's real crazy.
That's real crazy. I mean, you have to be a diehard API guy to actually jump out and purchase this right now, which I know is going to be
some people that do it.
Yeah, there's going to be several guys out there who do it, and we'll see them on YouTube, and they'll be the only ones with the videos.
I mean, technically, 4 API pre's is think it's about 3,000. I'm trying to think what the 3124 costs, which is a rack of. Yeah, I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to look it up.
I think it's also a fact of being smart. You know, if I had the money to realistically purchase that API box, I think it boils down to what's smart. You know what I mean? Should I go for the SSL that does more, that controls my DOS system, or should I spend 18 grand and get this big box that I got to read?
I mean, but the SSL hitting for 22, so.
But I'm saying, like, you still win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of more thousands, you get like a lot more functionality.
True.
And something that, you know, like, because again, you can control your DAW. The API box, you can't. You know.
I found it here for the record. API 3124 is 2715. So 2700 gets you four API pre's.
Oh, so
Wow.
they cut that.
Wow. So, for 18 grand, you only get 4 of them.
Let's move
I
on.
just don't
Next.
have the money for the box right now.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for the box.
Moving on, the next thing we got on the list here is the Crane Song Siren. This is Crane Song is of course part of Dave Hill's company. Every product he makes is amazing, so I can't wait to hear this pre. I know they'll have it Sweetwater Gear Fest when I go next year. I've gotten a couple demos from Dave of his products, the Titan compressor, the Europa pre, and the Falcon most recently. He demoed for me, and all of them sound great. So I already know that this is going to be a premium tube pre for the 500 series. The only other tube pre, there's two tube pre's I know of for the 500 series. The radial power tube pre, which I've heard, which sounds good. The other being the Rolls Music tube pre. That one I haven't heard. But with a name like Crane Song and Dave Hill, you throw that into the mix, and a tube pre. This is going to be another one of those hot 500 series items.
Yeah.
Plus, 500 series is really coming very popular nowadays because of space. Everything is becoming very compact if you pay attention to a lot of things. So,
especially for mobile guys like me who moves around. I battled for a couple years to get in the 500 series because I'm like, oh, I don't like the small knobs, and I had all these excuses, but every time I would pick up my big rack and haul my gear to the studio, I tell myself I need to get a lunchbox.
Right.
Hey, I mean, you said it best, especially with traveling. But just with Crane Song, I think they definitely have a good product right here. I'm waiting to actually really hear their sound. I was just looking at it. I mean, it got a lot of the basic stuff that you're looking for, but with the name, that's why I'm expecting it to be good.
Yeah, the name alone states everything for it.
Good quality equipment.
Well, we can't say that because API box, you know what I'm saying?
I tell you, if he does a tube EQ in the 500 series, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Right. I might go get me a lunchbox. and I don't haul nowhere, so.
I mean, there is, to my knowledge, no tube EQ. He might even have to make that a two space. If he crams an EQ and a tube all in a single 500 series slot, I would really be impressed.
Yeah.
You made me really think. Like, have I ever heard of anybody doing that?
No. Well, La Chapelle has a tube pre, but no. Now that I think about it, the EQ is a solid state EQ, transformerless. So It's not a tube EQ, just the pre is. But they have a 2-slot 500 series channel strip where, like one side is the pre and the right side is the EQ.
Right.
But not just a standalone 500 series tube EQ. That is, to my knowledge, yet to exist. And like I said, if Dave Hill does one, it'll blow my mind.
Cool.
Yeah. That'll be it. Make sure you write them after this.
Right, what?
Make sure you write them about that after this.
Oh, he knows about it. I told him already. That's how I try to get companies to tell me what's coming soon. Like when he demoed the compressor for me, I was like, "Where's the EQ?" He just kind of shrugged his shoulders. I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah, he knows. I'm sure a lot of people are looking for it. That's actually what I thought was going to. That's actually what I thought they were going to announce was an EQ, because I've definitely heard rumors of it. So the pre definitely took me by surprise. But like anything Dave Hill makes, I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I will say when he demoed that the Europa pre for me. You ever had this where somebody is demoing gear for you and they're turning the knobs and everything and you don't really hear a difference? it's really subtle. That compressor, the tiny compressor in Europa Pre.
Yeah, when
every time he touched that knob, I heard a difference.
Yeah. When you said that, I just thought about something. Usually when you hear something so subtle like that, you have to at least let it sit there for a good minute, then change it, like a couple seconds. Because I know what you mean. Like listen, you hear it? Or there's like say for instance, like somebody, I done seen tutorials like that, and I've been mixing for a good minute. They like, yeah, you hear the difference. It's subtle. Like, no, if you stop, maybe I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm not scared, and I tell people not to be scared. If you don't hear a difference, don't be scared to admit that you don't hear the difference. Don't all these plugins now, and it's which one should I use? Which one should I use? You try one, you try two. If you're not hearing a difference, then it doesn't matter which one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But one thing, since I got a joke about it also, I've seen instances where we've been around where people do the same thing, won't even be on the same channel, turn something else. You hear it? And they're great. Yeah, I hear it. I think it's just something engineers do when they don't want to hear something, and they just, you can hear it now. And be thinking in the back of their mind, I ain't even turned now. You know you ain't hit. Oh, my bad.
I do that. I do that all the time in the studio. I'd be like, turn me up in the headphones. Okay. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Or you get
that's actually a secret that I learned.
I got some free chicken on that one. Everybody watching, we call that free chicken.
That's actually a technique that I use in church. I'm on the soundboard, and sometimes the preacher go like this when they want more volume, and my job is to protect the speakers from blowing, because if the speakers blow, that's my fault, something I did. So what I do, I'll just make it look like I'm turning them up, out, and then they go, but I really didn't do nothing. In fact, I probably turned them down. So it's just making it look like you turned something.
It's either that or they do this with the microphone.
Right. Oh, they bold these days. Turn me up my mic as he preaching. Did you just really okay? All right.
You ever get those clients when you're doing a mix and it's like can you add some more compression on my vocal? You're like, okay, how's that? That's good. You haven't touched nothing.
Man, no. I'd had them to say, yo, that first mix, it's louder than the second mix. I was like, it's louder than the second mix? How's that? I didn't mess with nothing on the sub mix. So, only thing you asked me to change was the EQ on your vocals. Or you asked me to do a delay. So I threw a delay on it, and now it's louder. Then I'm like, yeah, it ain't loud as the first one. Okay. How's this? Oh yeah, that's much better. I see the same exact file. I'm surprised the computer didn't say, if you want to duplicate this.
Right.
Well, speaking of adding some volume, how about we got one more thing, the Neve, right, to still get into also, right?
The Shelford series?
Yes.
Yeah, we got that on the list. The when I spoke to Neve at Summer NAMM, they hinted at a inductor EQ that they were coming out with. I got really excited because I thought it was going to be a 500 series EQ because, like them with Crane Song, I said, hey, where's the EQ? Because they've got the 511 pre, which I own. They've got a compressor in the 500 series. They got a mic pre-compressor in 500 series, but they don't have an EQ. So I said, "Where's the EQ?" And he told me, "Look, we got one coming out. Look for it, August, September." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, around AES." And so this took me completely by surprise. I wasn't expecting this. And it's how was it, 2,400, I think, for each unit. Yeah. They got a mic pre and an EQ, and they got a compressor and an EQ. On top of that, I think the power supply is 750, I think.
Yeah.
So this is I don't know. This really took me by surprise. I will say I'm interested in the compressor EQ channel strip. I'd be interested in that. I wouldn't be interested in paying because if I got one, I would want two to make it stereo.
True.
And then adding the power supply on that. That's what we're looking at, 5,000 maybe.
Yeah.
At that point. Yeah, I'm not gonna go that route, but they look really nice. I must say. Now I'm excited to see Neve come out with a new product line.
I mean, that's another company. The name alone speaks for itself. I mean, you put Neve in most stores and they know it's there, it's selling real quick. You put in a big city, California, put it Chicago, Tennessee, New York, they're gonna sell those quick, very quick.
I mean, the Neve name, I honestly didn't want to get into Neve because that's what everybody uses. Oh, everybody has the same channel strip.
Oh yes.
Not channel strip, same signal chain.
Yep.
For recording vocals, and like I said before, I don't like to use it. Everybody's using, so I was never interested, and honestly, have never even used a Neve 1073. But the Neve 511, I don't hear a lot of people talk about what I call the new Neve. The new Neve stuff, and I've heard it sounds good, but that's always been pro dealer reps telling me that. Of course, you're going to tell me it sounds good. You want me to buy it, but
right.
Man, the 511 pre is amazing. It's my go-to pre for vocals right now. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go that 1073 route. I wanted something different, but I'm really glad that I purchased that Neve 511. And will definitely be looking into more products from them.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, they got it was something I did not know they had. It was like it wasn't a summon box.
They have a summon box. They got a couple summon boxes. One's called the Satellite.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a 16 by 4 summing. Then they got the desktop kind of console summing thing too.
Matter of fact, with that console, it was only like maybe it was less than 8 faders. And I was shocked by that, I believe.
We're gonna have to look at it now. I would imagine that it's 8 faders, because who wants less than 8 faders?
That's what I was really confused by.
Let's see what we got. You are absolutely right. It's 4 faders.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't going crazy.
Okay, it's 4 faders. There is 4 stereo faders, so it's 8 channels. I thought it was 16 channels of summing. Maybe it's 16 channels, but 4 faders. Oh, it's actually 24. It's a 24 by 2 summing.
Oh, okay. That's so you just broke it down. Okay.
Or hey, it's got that it's got the master fader that you like.
I just like to know that it's right there. I don't know. I guess because everything I done got that have it, it's still, that's probably the dustiest thing that I got.
Maybe you can just get you a board and write master at the end of it is right there.
It ain't going nowhere.
Just write master right there on the corner. There you go. You ain't gonna touch it.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything else to say about the Shelfer series?
Nah, they gonna get money. They ain't even got to struggle for it. They ain't even got to struggle for it. They gonna get paid off for that.
They don't even have to advertise like Waffle House.
Yeah.
Next thing I got on here is the make sure I don't butcher this name. Vostasso compressor from SK Note, which is a Italian company. This one, I'm gonna actually see if I can get their site up here. This is a very interesting compressor. Let me see.
Yeah, adding distortion.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like something that's unique and is not out. There it is there. It's a huge 3U rack space compressor, and even just looking along their product lineup, where is the Soma? This 8-channel summing mixer that they have. I'm gonna have to hit them up about this. It's an 8-channel summing mixer with saturation on the 2 bus, as well as a low shelf and high shelf EQ built into the 2 bus. I have to check that out because I'm looking for 8 more channels of summing, and that looks like an awesome product. But this compressor, I really want to hear this. I haven't seen a VU meter this big since I saw the Shadow Hills mastering compressor.
Yeah.
What's everyone's thoughts on this Vostasso? Coming in at $9.99 is their introductory price. From what I found out, I think they're going to go up about 30% on that price in a few weeks. This is just a introductory price, but yeah, it looks like a awesome compressor, and I really want to hear one and try one out.
Honestly, I guess exactly like you said. You really want to hear it first. Like you said, I haven't seen a VU meter like that, except probably maybe on a flat screen. But
I love it because I hate squinting.
That's not no little thing like that on there. You ain't got to look at it real close. You'll be back here and you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's hitting just right.
Yeah, I love it because I hate squinting looking at stuff.
Yeah,
You got to be like,
you're gonna see that VU meter.
yeah.
You ain't got no worries.
And then it's an optical compressor, so
Well, it's got different. From what I understand, it's got a lot of different modes to it.
well, optical.
It's like someone.
So, thing like that on there. You ain't gotta look at it real close. You'll be back here and be like.
I mean, someone described it as it's like a fatso almost, where the fatso has different compression types, like compression presets.
Yeah.
That you can flip through.
Yeah, I see that at the bottom. They were saying they had special compressor modes.
Yeah, I'd really be
That speaks
interested.
a lot for them.
It's what?
That speaks a lot for it.
Oh yeah, it's thinking outside of the box too. I like to see different products and except different than the same old every time.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any other thoughts on it?
Me personally,
No.
I think I would take the dangerous one over this one, even though the price is different. Price is very much different. Because I even had to go to my resources to see if I can get that at a very decent price. But I'm waiting to see a YouTube video. I'm waiting to hear some quality sound from it.
I actually get it, to be honest. Like, I'm quite sure you're gonna have his own sound.
Yeah.
And like you said, and for $1,000.
Yeah, and all their products looks like it's outside of the box type products.
Right.
It's not just the same old EQ compressor.
And that's what I'm looking at. Actually, that's what I'm looking at right now. And they actually have plugins as well.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Nah, that's hot. That's
And their plugins look like out of the ordinary. Some step away. Even if they got a tape emulator as well.
and that's what we all looking for. We're looking for
Except one person.
Yeah, except one. I found that one.
No, I found one though that I'm gonna stick with. Thanks, Wade.
Move on to the Isotope Nectar 2 was announced at AES. I demoed the first Nectar just to mess around with it, and I really loved it. It just wasn't for me because I've got a lot of plugins already. But for someone that's just starting out, being able to get a plugin that does so much in one, I think would be great. So now, with the Nectar 2 being released, where they've added a EMT plate reverb emulation as well as a harmonizer in it, it's only getting better. What are y'all thoughts on the Nectar 2?
Well,
it's good, Johnny.
I have Nectar 1, and I like it. And I mean, you said for somebody who's beginning, yes and no. It has different presets that I like most about it. Those type of sounds that you're not able to get, like Motown sound or that Preston clean, or you want that 70s sound. Just depending on what song you're working with. Then they introduced the reverb module, which is pretty cool. Now the harmonizer, I seen the video and I don't know if I can get with that. I think that right there will be one of the things that we've been saying this whole entire recording. You gotta kind of hear it, but from what I heard so far, it didn't produce a clean harmony sound to me if I was listening correctly. But I had to get it in front of me. I don't know.
And I didn't see a way that you can actually like filter your reverb because like I would I often filter my reverb and like you said like so I was saying like it's more on a to me it's too much
Yeah.
and I know it's a CPU hog. I haven't tried it
Yeah, I will say the Nectar one was a CPU one. Was a CPU hog. I did notice.
and so that's like something like that. That would be I have my vocal and I'm gonna send it to a bus with it on it and um, but but then doing that is almost being like a bus compressor. So now I have to send everything else to it because how strong it is, how much CPU it takes up. So I don't know. Some I guess I'm probably stuck in my old ways.
So KJ, you said you got Nectar. Are you gonna upgrade to Nectar too?
Um, I, for those couple of features, probably not. I mean, I don't use it religiously. You know, like all the time. I use it here and there, depending on who I'm working with. If I feel like pulling up a bunch of stuff, you know, I could pull up a template, but you know, Nectar, bam, right there, pull up, plug in, and you got a couple of presets you can change to. Um, I don't know. I have to see. You know, I'm just like Johnny Regular. You know, I got to see more videos. I got to, see why should I upgrade to,
I'm quite
to.
sure they have some demos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And they got. What I'm understanding, some of the compression or compressor. Um, that's not just the only two new features. They've updated the compressor. They've updated. I think the de-esser. Um, so it's
Brought the
definitely more
whole-
than just those two new features.
And come
See,
back.
I'll try it out. I'll
Yeah.
demo it and see, what it really do.
The main reason I ever tried it out, like when I first ever seen the Nectar the first time, it didn't really appeal to me until I seen Dave Posada using it, and he seemed like he'll pick up any plug-in and, and do his thing with it. I'm gonna be honest, Dave Posada, I seen all kind of weird, ugly, you know, plugins that I ain't never heard of, and with him, it's almost like instant advertisement. So, which it was. So that's what made me go look at Nectar. But
Me myself, I'm a big Isotope fan. I got a majority of their plugins. I like Nectar One. But one thing that I actually see that they're doing is they're making different grades of almost all their products. Like there's a Nectar Elements where people very first starting. Then Nectar One came out, and now they got Nectar Two where they added more. But like you said, I want to see if this one is a CPU hog or if it actually helps that. Because I know when I was using it, when I seen the problems when it was being acting like Pac-Man on my DAW, what I would do is I'll just switch it into mixing mode, and then I would send it to another audio track and just have no plugins after that once I'm done with it, just so I can use it real quick and get rid of it. But it definitely helped out for the projects I needed real quick.
I'm sure they improved the CPU usage of it.
Yeah, I'm sure that they did too. One of the other features I like about it is the ability to, like when you're recording, you can switch it to tracking mode. Because if it's got a mixing mode and there's a tracking mode. So if you turn it in tracking mode, it turns down the latency, which I thought was pretty cool. And I will use that essentially for like a quick mix. You get them artists that want you to email you what they did that night. Okay, cool. This is slap it right together before you really put your mix on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
produce.
with saying that's a good idea, like with the tracking mode, because you can actually get the artist to you can actually just throw that plug in on it
Mm-hmm.
just to get that artists in that mood or to actually feel their mix. You know what I'm saying? Like they already had a nice little reverb and a nice little delay, and if they already sound like they finished, like a finished mix while they recording, they definitely will perform better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have a couple of like that. I'm old school. I like to record dry so I can hear everything. So if I got to do it over, because sometimes when you got some reverbs going and compression or whatever the case may be, you can't really hear it because once they leave the studio and you take it off and you start hearing like, oh wow, you got to do that over. That's whack right there. But we couldn't hear that when they was, and all that glory clouding on that cloud. But I use that quite often if I'm using it, the tracking feature, and I turn it off just so I can hear it. Like, give me a second, hold on, and I play it back and see if I can hear any glitches.
Now, one feature I don't see why they really didn't talk about it that much is the behind the scene filter sweep. That's the best way I can call it. That they actually have, and they have it in 1, so I'm expecting it's in 2, where you can actually do a filter sweep without even bothering the EQ, just to find, a spot that you need to tweak in the EQ. I thought that was a great idea. I was actually wondering why a lot of their other plugins don't have it.
Back that up. See, the filter sweep, you're saying you can sweep without affecting the curves and adjustments you already made with the EQ.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome.
I think like on Mac, you just hold down Command and it'll shade the rest of it, and there'll be just a sharp peak, and it'll be brighter than everything else. And you can just filter from high to low.
So
I don't know who came up with that idea, but
a filter or a notch?
Huh?
A filter or a notch?
Oh, no, my fault, notch. And it's on. It's not on Alloy. I don't know why it's not on Alloy, and it's not on what's the other one they got? What's the mastering plugin they got?
Ozone.
Yeah, the Ozone. It's not in the Ozone 5. It might be in the Advanced. I don't got the Advanced, but I got it on Nectar. On 1 at least. So I need to check 2. If they got it in 2, I hope some more people use that technique. It's hidden, but there.
All right, we're going to move on to the last subject, last thing we got here on the list, which is the Chaotica eyeball. When I first saw this on the video, I told myself, "What the hell is this?"
It's a pop filter for my snowball.
So there's a look at it. So what it is, it's basically a
vocal booth.
Yeah, it's a ball of foam that covers your mic.
Yeah, it's a Nerf ball.
Which should help acoustically treat your microphone. Now, if you go on their site, there is examples. I don't know. I listened to the examples. It added a lot of proximity effect.
Yeah, and it sounded like I seen one. When I actually looked it up on YouTube, I seen a guy. He was rapping because I do a lot of hip hop, so I was like, this is ugly. You spend.
Don't say the price. Please don't say the price.
You
price ain't right.
Go ahead with your point, because I think you're gonna say what I'm saying.
You spend $1,000 on an AKG 414. It's nice. It look good. You want to see it. You want the artist to see it, and then you turn around and put that big Nerf ball on top of it. The sound of it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
And muffles it, and they demonstration was that Norman TL 103. It looked like with that Nerf ball on top of it, almost look like a what you call it, a dragonfly from Blue.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I was thinking the same thing too. Like I want to see my mic.
Yeah.
The concept of it, I understand the concept of it, but I don't know. Air around a microphone is important.
Right.
It's part of the sound. I definitely understand the concept of it, but yeah, you're right. It's not sexy at all.
At all.
And actually, if I was an artist singing or rapping into one, that might mess with my performance a little bit. Like just being used to being in front of a microphone, and now I'm in front of this.
Especially when the track that I actually heard when the guy he was rapping, he sounded good. And then they put the ball on it. For one, they had the right amount of distance between the pop filter and the artist. Now with this Nerf ball, you can't. You have to actually get another pop filter to put out to adjust. Because us recording engineers, we got so many ways to back an artist off the microphone.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, hey, don't touch my pop filter. You do that on purpose because they're gonna get all on it, have the proximity effect, or they SC and you're trying to get rid of it. Don't touch my microphone. But with that, it's like I'm looking at it and I seen him. He definitely got closer to the microphone, and he was like, first he was out here, the mic here, he out here. Then because the pop filter is like right here, so they got at least about 3 inches between him, the microphone, and the pop filter and him. So with that, it was just like, and then the pop filter looked like it's right on the microphone. It was like it's probably like 2 inches away from the microphone. I was like, no way, man. I don't think it looked like it would have do with. I don't think that thing looked like it would protect it if the mic falls.
Exactly. I tried to figure out what could it actually really truly be good for, and only thing I can come up with is sound design. In some crazy areas where you didn't want your microphone to get damaged. But then you would probably use a dynamic mic anyway. I tried to think, why would you even use that? I mean, and this what else makes me think about it. It's not going to fit. It says it fits every shock mount. That's not going to fit every shock mount.
It didn't fit that Norman.
Yeah.
What if you had your mic upside down? You couldn't put that on it.
You can't.
You could, not at all. Yeah.
Unless you gonna do some homemade things and hang your mic by its cord, by the cord, just let it have it dangling, which that's not smart. But
I mean, honestly, I guess it is funny anyway. I was looking at a movie with Vin Diesel where he supposed to see good in the dark, can't see in the light, or something like that.
Pitch Black, baby.
Pitch Black, yeah.
That matter of fact, I think it was like part 2 or whatever. But I remember he had went to go save his sister from the jail and everything, and there was these little creatures that seemed with like a blue eye. And that's exactly what I was thinking of that eyeball like.
So has anyone used the competition to this product, the reflection filter? I've seen them. I've never used one before. Has anyone used one?
Yeah, I have one right now.
How do you like that?
I actually love it because you still get it cuts out on the room noise. Like I like to use it. Like if I wanted to get that live sound, because the room that I actually use now, it still has some kind of liveness to it.
Right.
And that's what I want. And
Could it win on a shootout against the eyeball?
No, the eyeball just be garbage. It won't compare.
The reflection filter makes sense to me because you don't want the sound hitting the wall and bouncing back.
Right.
But at the same time, if your mic is in cardioid, it should pick up what's in front of you anyway.
Yeah, but with the reflection filter, like you said, with that, if you think about it, most people who's in a just a straight up open room, right? That vocals, you know what I'm saying? Sound travels. We all know sound travels, and like with me talking right now, it's shooting across there and bouncing back, and all kind of way. So what the reflection filter does, it actually stops some of the vocal from even traveling further past the microphone instead of it bouncing. I'm quite sure it's gonna go past it, but you still can actually pick up some of the room, and as long as they're not too close, you know. Yeah, but that thing, and it's not dead up on the microphone. That's one thing I liked about it. It's not on the microphone. Your microphone is like sitting away from it. You can adjust it how you want it.
Right. The whole
So,
the
but
whole
that
idea the whole idea is for it to filter the mic, not to box it in. You know,
right.
that's it's crazy.
I hate boxy vocals. I hate recording in very small vocal booths. If I can get the artist out in an open room, I'll do that, or I'll put up some gobos just to shrink the room a little bit. Which is I hate a boxy sound, boxy vocal. I mean, if I'll end up changing studios before I track in a
In a box
4x4 booth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, that was the video didn't show really too much of justice anyway, because when they recorded that stuff, trying to demo it, they were already in a pretty good treated room. So it was like they set themselves up for failure in the sense when they did the first take. And we listening like, man, that's nice, and you waiting to hear what's gonna happen next, and then they put as Johnny say, the Nerf ball over it. He's like, oh,
That's what it's doing to the mic.
what's that? That's Muffy. What the heck is going on? So
Yeah,
that
and none
kind
of
of
their
set.
examples.
Should have
All
took
of
it
their
somewhere, somebody's house or something in the living room where wood
In the
floor.
bathroom. They should have did it in the restroom.
Yeah. You should have made it a little bit more dramatic. You know what I mean? But you put it in a well-treated area. They set themselves up for that one.
Yeah, the rapping one was definitely looked like it was in a treated room. Did you see the? Did anyone see the one where the guy was singing in like the concrete hallway or whatever?
I didn't see that one.
In
I seen the women singing.
Yeah, it's one where I just what the heck? Just so everybody can hear what we're talking about. Let me find that video here.
Was it better?
Let's see.
But somebody that don't know what they're doing is gonna definitely waste $200. $200.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the price.
$200.
$200.
Yeah.
I don't think the reflection filter is even that much. I don't think
It's 100. Well, I think there's some for 100. There's some for 300.
The SEs are like 200.
Let's take a quick look at this video, just so everybody can hear what we are talking about.
Well, I'm running down the track. I've got tears in my eyes. I'm trying to read a letter from my...
Oh, YouTube! Come on, man.
Read a letter from my home. But if that train runs me right, well, I'll be home tomorrow night. 'Cause I'm 900 miles from my home.
I love that reverb.
So this is the part that scared me right here.
Well, I'm running down the track.
Oh,
I've
no.
got tears in my eyes.
Nah.
Choked it.
Read a letter from
No.
my home. But it
Pay attention to everybody that's watching.
runs me right. Well, I'll
This
be
is one
home
product
tomorrow
you
night.
should not get.
900.
Or your sound is going to sound just like this. If you send that song off to get mixed by anybody, they're going to send
back
it
to you.
right back.
Right back.
So I say I understand the concept, but the I don't know. In all the videos, I like the prior example better than the when they put the eyeball on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Would
That's
any of y'all purchase
It sounded
eyeball?
woolly. It sounded muddy. And then, like as you seen that he was a nice distance away from the microphone at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they put the eye on it, he
On it, yeah. So that's got to be where that proximity effect was coming in at.
was making love to.
Yeah. I think something like that also plays with somebody's brain, because if something is enclosed, you feel like you need to get closer into it in order to make something happen. You know what I mean? So it's like the mic is enclosed, so you feel like you got to get inside the mic. Just, you know what I mean? Because we noticed that effect in all of the videos and all the demonstrations.
Right.
All of them got close, so it's like gotta get closer.
Well, maybe they were thinking they were just trying to keep the mic from getting dusty. I can't think of no other reason to use that.
And for
Keep your mic on your stand, you don't want it to collect dust.
And for $200, you can DIY it yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's damaging the mic. In fact, you screaming in the mic like that, you're gonna actually damage the mic that way.
Plus, it's SM7.
Now the SM7.
That's amazing. Screamed in. Don't stop the music.
That. Okay.
I done seen plenty of times when people record in SM7. Like, actually was with a guy, Michael Freeman. He recorded a lot of rock music, and like the artist was on the SM7. I'm talking about he probably had to go disinfect it after he got done with it. How close he was on it, and I'm talking about he was screaming at the top of his lungs.
And the mic still didn't clip.
The mic did not clip, and it sounds so good. He was like the rough mix, just the tracking of it sounded good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone clip a SM7.
So for an extra $100 or 50, depending on where you go, you can get you an SM7, and you know what I mean? Like, you good.
Yeah.
Now, didn't this also? I'm trying to remember, was it last week or this week? Where Newman released their new mic.
They announced that at AES too. Yeah. They announced a new mic.
What do you think about that?
It's another Neumann mic. I mean, I really can't say much more about
Have you heard of Norman that you don't like?
Say that again?
Have you ever seen one that you don't like from them?
Never. No, I love all their mics. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the U87 was my go-to vocal mic until I used a Mic Tech CV4, and I actually liked the CV4 better than the U87. And I tried
What kind of mic that was again?
Mic Tech CV4.
Oh, okay.
I like that better than the U87. I also like that better than the Neumann U67, which is probably a better comparison to it because those are both tube microphones. Ended up buying a Mic Tech C7, But everything I heard from Neumann, I've loved. But I don't know. I'm just not really excited about another Neumann microphone. Now I will say the navigation switch that's on the back of it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that, but yeah, I'm not excited about it.
For them to put that on there, what did it sacrifice? That's the question.
Well, they're saying that this is the first. I can say the first. But it's it's well under $2,000, which is good for a Neumann mic. I mean, they've got I can't think of the exact model off the top of my head, but some of their mics are 600, 700.
Like TM103.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Which I was looking at. I was looking at it one time, but it's a cardioid only. And if I spend that much money, I went ahead and spent a couple $100 more and got the Mic Tech C7, which has multiple polar patterns. But of course, I don't know how much a U67 costs. I'm going to say $4,000. I know the U87 is almost $4,000, or $3,500, something like that. It's good for them to come out with a mic in that price point. They say it's a completely new capsule and new design and all that. But yeah, I'm just not crazy about a new Neumann microphone.
Especially when you have all these that you already like, buy them. So like you already got your go-to.
Now I will say, if I'm looking for a high-end mic and I wanted a Neumann, then I would definitely give it a strong consideration, because a good microphone is just one of those things that you just have to have. So I would definitely give it a strong consideration then.
Okay.
But I mean, where I am right now, the next mic I purchase is going to be a tube mic. So that's it. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So let's just get everybody's thoughts on what do you think was the best product announced at AES this year.
The Matrix 2.
Yeah, I think that's kind of very good. For me, I'm looking at what I want to purchase. It'd be between that dangerous compressor. That'd be about my biggest money spender that I would get from there.
Yeah. We spoke on several things that I was interested in. You already know the Matrix 2. Then I liked the idea of the dangerous compressor, but I also was digging the Slate Digital VMR as well.
So what if you had to give a best product announced, just a one trophy away, what product would it be?
I'll say the Matrix 2 because of my situation. Yeah.
You know what? I think if I was to give a trophy out, I would have to definitely give it to Waves with their tape emulator. They did a good job. From the little bit I've heard, you might as well go and speak on that one. You might.
I mean, but let's stay on subject. I'm gonna say
you gotta go and speak on that one.
I'm gonna say I would honestly, I would go with the dangerous bus compressor.
I think I would have to say the dangerous compressor too, just because I don't think anyone saw the Slate coming. I think the Slate would be a close second, but the dangerous compressor to me was the most anticipated product. Everybody wanted them to make a compressor. To the fact that I don't think anyone knew me. I don't think anyone knew that it was coming. I had no idea it was coming. So I think it took a lot of people by surprise, and just off the anticipation of them doing a compressor, I'd have to give it to them.
Who would be the worst? It's a tough two. It's a tough two.
We don't need to speak on that. I think we all know the worst.
Yeah.
I don't want to product bash nobody. We know what's the we know what's not winning here.
Better luck next time.
Keep your eye out for next time. There's gonna be some changes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up. We're a little bit longer than I wanted to. If anybody watches it as far as this long, then we appreciate it. But, as a sign off, I'm Czar. You can reach me at the website listed there below. You can find me on Twitter at AudioZar901. Everybody else, tell everybody how people can reach you.
I'm KJ. I'm signing out as well. You can reach me at www.ksound.com. It's also listed across the screen. If you need music, mix, master, anything, hit me up.
Johnny Reckley, studio instructor. You can reach me at johnny.reckley@musician.com, or if you're in Fayetteville, North Carolina, come down to Guitar Center and you'll see me on the wall.
And I'm Johnny, aka My Mix Engineer. You can find me at www.mymixengineer.com, Twitter, My Mix Engineer, Facebook, My Mix Engineer, Instagram, My Mix Engineer. So I just want to let you guys know I'm out.
All right, we'll catch y'all next time.
You know I'm out. All right, peace out.